Hey everybody. We are here in a very small town in Iowa. We pick up tomorrow morning. So we have a few hours here tonight, and Jay is over there bouncing. Bouncing for me is super high priority. And I know that I've talked about this in the past on this channel, but I thought I would take a couple of minutes and talk to you about why the Bellicon and what it does, because I'm not sure that I've talked about that in detail. And it's not overly complicated, but it's really powerful stuff. And I had a driver come up to me the other night. I was at Love's in the fuel lane. It was 2:30 in the morning, so the place was pretty much, sleeping, except for a few trucks in the fuel lanes taking their 30-minute breaks. And I had the Bellicon out. I bounced, and this driver came up to me when I was putting it away. He did. He came over, and while I was putting it away, came and talked to me about the Bellicon. And his name was Trinity. So Trinity, if you're out there, hi. But he told me that he has been gaining weight this past 6 months or so because he hurt his hip, and he can't do the exercise that he used to do, like walking or even riding a bicycle is tough. And so he was asking if the Bellicon was easy on the joints. And I said, that's precisely why it's so powerful, because it's extremely gentle on all the joints, ankles, knees, hips, everything all the way up. But that doesn't mean it isn't a tremendous amount of exercise, because it is. Every single muscle in the body gets exercised, including your eyeballs. Every internal organ gets exercised. This is very powerful. We're talking stomach, kidneys, heart, lungs, everything internally gets exercised. But the bigger point and why the Bellicon is so powerful, and I hope this is working okay, because I've got some wind here. I'll find out in a bit, I guess. The thing is that it's the lymphatic system that gets stimulated when you bounce. Jay is behind me right now, bouncing. And the really amazing thing about the lymphatic system is that it doesn't have a pump. Now, our blood system has a pump, and it's called the heart. And the heart pumps your blood through miles of blood vessels, arteries, all the way down to capillaries. But your lymphatic system, which is 3 times the size of the blood circulatory system, the lymphatic system has no pump, at least not as an organ. The pump for the lymphatic system are, I don't know if I got down, it's your thighs, okay? The point is that if you're not jumping, bouncing, walking, doing quite a bit to get those thighs working, then your lymphatic system can get stagnant. And in case you don't know, the lymphatic system is where the immune system gets energized, because your white blood cell count, all of this is associated to lymphatic system. It's lymphatic fluid is the fluid in the body that comes into play if there's infection, if there is a wound. It has a lot more purpose, but it's what heals, okay? And that's just kind of a basic component. There's a lot more to it than that. the point is that this action of Bellicon causes the lymphatic fluid, that system, to pump, because all of the, we'll call them valves, there are hundreds of them in the body for this lymphatic system, but they all go up, which means it takes this upward movement for the lymphatic system, for the lymphatic fluid to get pumped through the system. So you have to jump, walk, move for that to happen. And of course, as we all know, oops, sorry, just grabbed the, pulled this. In trucking, it's sedentary. You sit a lot, obviously. You have 11 hours a day to drive. And if you spend 11 hours sitting in a seat and you get off and go to sleep within a couple of hours, you eat, you probably sit, do some paperwork. It's mostly sitting. And then you go to sleep and get up, rinse, repeat. So there's not a lot of movement. A Bellicon session, 15-minute session, is the same as 2 hours of running, of jogging. So 15 minutes on the Bellicon has the same effect as 2 hours of jogging. That's pretty impressive. Once you get that lymphatic system moving, it does fantastic things. In fact, a few minutes spent on the Bellicon each day gets the heaters, the body heaters, which are, it's part of the glandular system, and it turns those heaters on. And like every time I bounce, about 30 minutes to 45 minutes later, I get hot. It's like, whoo, I just get flushed hot because those heaters have been activated. And that actually is fat burning, and it continues for the next 10 to 12 hours. So if weight is an issue and it's something you want to work on, then bouncing just for 15 minutes, once per day, twice per day, is even better. I can usually manage once per day pretty easy. Twice, it's a little bit tougher. But you turn on the fat burning heaters in the body, and they operate for 10 or 12 hours just off one bounce. That's pretty incredible. But it's efficiently using energy, and it ups your mental clarity, clears the head. Actually improves eyesight, like I said, because it exercises the eyeball. I'm talking about this whole organ that sits, not just this part that we can see, that's just a tiny part of the organ of the eye. The organ is actually quite large, and it sits behind this orbital bone, and it gets exercised. Every part of the body, all of the muscles. And here's why. Because at the bottom of the bounce, your weight is increased from 2 to 5 times, depending on how high the bounce is. Now, something called the health bounce, which is just a simple bounce on the mat. Your feet don't even leave the mat. That bounce right there is enough to turn your lymphatic system on. To turn on your immune system and to activate the heaters. It's just such a powerful, profound exercise to do. It does so much for the body, and it takes, it takes the difficulty out of a job like this, like trucking, and any job where you're sitting. I have seen offices get a Bellicon and put it in their office so that their employees can take 5 minutes. When that low comes in the day, they pump on the Bellicon and their energy goes straight back up. And that's because it activates these systems that get stagnated when that lymphatic fluid sits still and doesn't get pumped through the body. So I'm doing kind of like a total simplistic explanation of this, but so I hope this gives you just a little bit more information about why the Bellicon is such a powerful tool to have on your truck or at your office or in your home. It's so wonderful. And plus you can use it for stretching because you're up off the ground. Out here, the ground is usually not a place you want to get down on it and do any stretching, but you can do stretching so easily right on the Bellicon. This is a little add-on part here at the end. Several hours later, Jay is off to bed, set up a couple of lights so that I could tell you these few important points about the Bellicon that I completely missed. One has to do with skin. Bouncing on the Bellicon causes the skin to tighten from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet. So it's like getting a facelift. It's pretty cool. And I highly recommend it for, if no other reason, that's a pretty good one right there. But there are so many other benefits and such profound amount of exercise. It gets, I'm hearing Jay, he's from back there behind the curtain, he says it gets rid of turkey neck. And it does. So that's pretty cool. It also causes the face to lift. Now, this takes time, doesn't happen overnight, but you can actually tell the difference within the first 5 minutes of being on the Bellicon. I've had so many friends and people who have come to the house, saw the Bellicon, wanted to get on it, and within 5 minutes they could feel that effect, and it's wonderful. So get your immune system charged up and get a facelift all at the same time. That's a pretty good bonus. There is so much more to talk about regarding the Bellicon, so comment below and check in the description for a link to Bellicon. Okay, I appreciate you hanging out with me. I gotta go let Jay get to sleep. All right.